Hey guys, happy end of the world, yay! I was gonna make a different video today, but yesterday Cody's film addiction posted a video about high school and how it's kind of terrifying, and I thought I would reply. So I'm a junior this year, and it's weird because I don't feel like a junior, I feel like a freshman still. Cody talked a little bit about how the transition from elementary school to middle school to high school is very weird and confusing, and we get exposed to different amounts of adult themes throughout that time. When I was in middle school, there was a lot of bad people. I remember there was this one girl that gave people blowjobs in the bathroom. We were like 13. That's, why? There was also lots of fights at my school. I live in Washington, but this is like the most ghetto area in the world. That's not true. Enumclaw is worse. Burn! Would you like some cooling salve for that burn? Rush them to the burn unit. My parents are in the other room doing business stuff and they can hear everything that I'm saying. I think in comparison to the middle school that I went to, high school wasn't that much of a transition. Like, we had a bigger campus. I almost said canvas. Like, we had a bigger campus, but that was about the only difference. My freshman year of high school, some dude, how do I put this lightly? Some guy went ahead and defecated and took the carbon from that process and smeared it all over the walls of the boys' bathroom. My sophomore year, last year, there were 4 or 5 fights in a month. This year I discovered that like 5 of my friends smoke weed. Though I guess I can't really talk about weed anymore because it's kind of legal in my state for people over 21. Also, there's this entire festival in Seattle called Hemp Fest, and it's basically just, it's a weed fest. That's what it is. My friend was on the outskirts of it, like, and it just happened to be the same day. They didn't like plan to go because of Hemp Fest or anything, but they were just hanging out in Seattle around that time, and some big guy tried to sell her a brownie, and she was like, no. Oop. I don't know, I guess I'm not really fazed whenever there's talk about sex and drugs and alcohol because I wasn't exactly raised in an environment that was like, this is all very terrible for you. I mean, obviously my parents didn't advocate, you know, drinking underage or doing drugs or having sex once you're able. There was a bit of alcohol abuse in my family long time ago. So like, I know the dangers of alcohol and I've known that since I was a kid, so I don't really see the point in abusing it. Also, I'm not exactly the kind of person that like gets invited to parties or anything, so it's not really like I've had any exposure to it at all. I know, who would have guessed me staying at home all Friday? Oh wait. It starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, and airplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Oh god, I keep changing the camera angle. That didn't help at all. I mean, even as kids, I think we should be educated in the dangers of all of the things that we will encounter as we grow up. I think it's important for kids to stay as innocent as possible as long as they can, but at a certain age, it becomes a little pointless to pretend that all of that stuff doesn't exist. Once kids start hitting puberty, they're gonna be curious, and it's a natural human thing, you know? We're all a little bit curious. My friend was telling me about how her cousin's parents actually give her cousin alcohol in a controlled environment because it's better that they try it with their parents than they try it with a bunch of terrible people at an insane rager party. I think that's a really good idea, you know? It's making sure that they don't have a terrible experience with it the first time so that they know how to control themselves when the time comes that their parents won't be there. And I'm not saying give your kids alcohol when they're 10 years old. I'm saying give it to them when they're like 16, 18, somewhere around that age, so that they have the experience. And that way they won't abuse it when they're older because they'll know how much they can take. And I mean, drugs is kind of the same way. I'm not saying you should give your 16-year-old a swig of marijuana. Is it actually, it's not a swig. This is how much I know about drugs. Closest I get to drugs is like cupcakes. Oh god, that actually sounds worse than I intended it to, and I think I just got coffee on my chin. I don't mean like weed cupcakes, I mean like regular, just regular cupcakes. Like, you know, red velvet cake with cream cheese frosting. That's my drug. Oh man, I really want that now. Oh god. Can't quit you cupcakes. I don't know what just happened. So yeah, I guess this wasn't so much a discussion about high school, but more the innocence of children. Sorry. In case you're wondering, this is my tripod for today. So many books.